Hey there, Expendables fans, this is Westatron. Today we're taking a look at Diamond Select Toys' Gunnar Jensen figure from the Expendables 2 line that just came out a couple weeks ago. We've already looked at the packaging for Barney and Hail Caesar, so I didn't really see the need to do it again. So I just figured we'd get right into the action figure. This is the character based off of Dolph Lundgren, which is very cool. I dig having more Dolph Lundgrens in my collection, because who doesn't want Dolph Lundgren? This pose I just wanted to try to illustrate that not having the hinged hips isn't the absolute end of the world. I mean, you can get a little creative just by bending the hips a little bit. You can see he's kind of balanced on his back toe. Well, now you can see he's kind of balanced on his back toe. Just from a little, clever balancing there. So it doesn't have to be the end of the world that they don't include those joints. It's a little bummer that they don't include them, but, you got to make do with what you got. So, I guess we'll start by looking at some of his weapons. This is his tactical grenade launcher. I'm not exactly sure the name of this. If I remember, I'll try and get on IMFDB and check out what it is. I know it's a Mark I of something, but I don't remember who makes it or anything. But basically, these are cylinders, and each one holds a grenade, so you fire, boom, next cylinder, boom, next cylinder, just like a revolver. So very cool. Got a forward tack grip here, wrist system on the front, rail integrated system, some kind of sight. I'm not sure what kind of sight this is. With the way it's kind of curved here, it almost looks like it's designed to, like for ranges, like to test altitude and things like that, or not altitude, but basically if you've going to have a drop off. I can't think of the word right now, but if you were to fire into the air, the grenade would eventually drop, so it would help you figure out how far to shoot it to get it to land where you want. M4 style, well, not exactly M4, but similar style stock on the back, so it would be adjustable, so in and out, and then kind of a shotgun style grip on it. So very cool, nicely painted, no frills or anything. There's not like writing on it or anything like that. It is a little bit bent. You can see like this should probably be flatter here, and the bottom here, I don't think it's supposed to go up like that. It's a little bit bent in packaging. You can see it's a little warped, but not nearly as bad as the knives. Unfortunately, his knife suffered the same fate as Hail Caesar's, so that's a real bummer for me. If I can get it to focus. What's interesting to note, I mean, it's actually worse. What's interesting to note is it's actually a different knife. I don't even really specifically remember him using the knife in the movie, but I think it's interesting that they went as far as to sculpt a different one for him. This one's a lot more like a needle or a pig sticker than the other one. But, very cool nonetheless. I'm going to try and fix this with boiling water as well. Which is interesting because they even redesigned the gun belt. Even though it's got the same setup as Hail Caesar's, they redesigned the gun belt to accommodate the different knife. So, and here's the Sig Sauer Pistol. Simple, cool, clean, dig it. So, action figure himself, we have got a very nice likeness to Dolph Lundgren, kind of disgruntled, angry. Gunnar was just kind of like the genius with... Well, the genius part was kind of added in the second movie, but kind of a genius with like an alcohol problem or a various problems. Troubled genius, I guess I should say. What was interesting about all the parts about him being a genius in the movie is that they're true. Dolph Lundgren, if you didn't know this, I may have mentioned in my other video, is actually a member of Mensa, so he is a classified genius. Very, very smart man. So all the stuff that he was saying in the movie was probably pretty accurate. I don't know because I'm not smart, but I thought it was funny that they actually threw that in there, and then he ends up failing anyway, but still. Very nice detailing on the shamar. I don't know really how you say this thing, but it's basically a scarf that goes around your neck, tactical scarf, some people just call it, but it's got more than that. They really went a long way to detail the vest here. The other ones have just kind of like standard molly attachments with nothing attached to it. He's actually got a lot of pouches, which is very cool. So looks like maybe some shotgun shells were supposed to be up in here. Various just different types of pouches. Very, very cool. Very nice detailing. A little bit, if you can see that, a little bit of dry brushing on there to kind of bring out the details. Very, very nice. I dig it. And the details from the scarf go all the way to the back. The arms, very nice. Again, I think these are a reuse of Anders. I'm not positive, though. Just like, seem to be the same ones as Hail Caesar. What's interesting is he doesn't have his tattoos on either side. It's not something I would have readily noticed, but somebody else mentioned it on the Fwoosh, so I figured I'd let you guys see. I'm not sure what tattoo he has over here, but I think he's got the Expendable tattoo over here. So, something I didn't mention in the other reviews is the characters are molded in that kind of, I don't know, flat, sort of a little bit clear plastic that NECA's started to use lately. And I think they did a really good job with it. They still, went in, you can see there's like paint marks and stuff. They went in and did some defining and stuff like that, but for the most part, they used that clear plastic, and it looks really good for the skin tones. I dig it. His face is still painted. Whereas Sly's was actually this same type of material. His actually seems to have a lot of paint on it. But it looks good. It looks really good for him. I really, really like the look of this one. I think he actually looks a lot better out of package than in. Very nice gloves there. The leather for the belt looks very nice. Although this should be nylon, so that should be flat. But it doesn't matter. Like I said, they've got a new sheath for the knife, which I think is cool. And the knife does slide down in it pretty easily, even with its problems, even with its warpage. They went really far with the detailing and the stitching and everything. Pants are the same as before. Different type of holster looks like here too. So even though they had like the exact same setup, knife on this side, pistol on this side, they really went out of their way to make this unique. So I think that's very cool because this pistol style is very different. This it's still a drop-down holster, but it's not as modern as Hill's was. So another interesting thing is that he's got different knee pads than Hill. I would have assumed they would have used the same ones over just to save money, but they didn't. They actually sculpted these separately. So that's very cool. These are floating, so they don't get in the way of anything. And then he goes back to a little bit more of the glossy style boot that Sly wears, or Barney wears. So very cool overall. Articulation, he's got the same ball-jointed neck as everyone else. He's a little bit hindered in his tilt, but not by much. Down pretty good. Back, looking upwards, not so much. He's got the great articulation that Hail Caesar has in his arms, so a lot more than Barney's got, which is good because he's very limited. The swivel biceps, hinged elbows go about 90 degrees, swivel wrists, swivel waist, T-hips, so they're hinged, and they don't go back because the pockets block them. You can see where the pocket meets the butt there. It doesn't go back any further, so if you were going to customize so you can get wider stances out of these guys, shave that down. It's a trick with the Hasbro Star Wars toys is as long as their hip can go back, you can push this one really far forward, this hip really far back, and then twist the waist, and it looks like they have a much wider stance than they would normally be able to get. So, just a tip for you guys. We've got the swivel thighs, hinge knees, again, the weird hinge knees, because this one goes back further than the other. So that's about 90, and that one's like, I don't know, 70 maybe. And then nothing in the ankles. So this is another figure I paid about $11 for. So again, $11 for this figure is an absolute steal from Redford Films. I recommend you grab it from there if you can. The shipping was very fast on these. I didn't wait very long. Very cool action figures, just fun. I mean, they're the Expendables. Somebody had to take the risk, and I'm glad DST did it because the only other ones I think who could have handled this would probably be NECA, and they've got their hands full right now. So here's all the Expendables together. We've got Hail Caesar, Barney Ross, and Gunnar Jensen all together. My camera's a little bigger, that might be playing with the scale a little bit, but you see Gunnar's a little bit taller than everybody, which makes sense because Dolph Lundgren is huge. He's a big Swedish dude. Yeah, this set for the 30 to 35 bucks that I paid for it, absolutely outstanding deal. These figures, as I said, some people are reporting finding them for as much as 25 bucks. I wouldn't pay 25 bucks for them. I'd say 20 or lower, you're probably in a decent range. And if articulation is really important to you, 18 to 15 is probably better your range. But at $11 a piece, 11 bucks is like nothing in the action figure world today. You can't buy a crappy Mattel figure for 11 bucks anymore. It's been probably 4 years since you could do that. So great pricing on this from Diamond Select Toys. The MSRP I think is somewhere around 12 to 15 from what I've read on the Whoosh. So definitely, if you get the chance, pick up Gunner, pick up Barney, pick up Hale here, pick them all up. They're great. They're hero legends, action figure legends. Just some of the greatest action stars of all time, and New Blood, which I dig. I like the way they all fit together. So they look great together. Their costumes all look great. I'll back up just so you can get a better look at it. Good job to Diamond Select. Even with all the problems that they have, they're still cool action figures, so I'm glad to have them. So if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to hit me up. Yeah, all my new subscribers, I really appreciate you coming in, and hopefully I can get up some more videos soon and keep you guys interested, because I really love to talk about toys, and it's always good to have somebody to talk with. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.